Hello and welcome to 16 Ounce Cinema's Director's Gallery. I'm TJ. I'm here with Michael.
Hello.
And I'm doubly excited tonight.
Ooh, doubly.
First off, because if this is your first time listening,
Shame on you.
what?
Shame on them for this
Oh,
being
yeah,
the first
right,
time. Yeah.
right. But it's exciting for us because this will be the first episode actually released as 16 Ounce Cinema's Director's Gallery.
That's right.
Previously, we've been under the 16 Ounce Cinema, just our main show feed, but we figured we're going to continue this, and eventually we're going to finish Mario Bava and the Mario Minute. Still going to call it the Mario Minute. But now it's a segment of Director's Gallery. So welcome to the new feed, everyone, old listeners and new. And I hope you like the change.
I hope you fucking love the change.
The second exciting thing is I found a PDF finally online for this book I've been looking for. And I already told you, Mike, about it, but we'll tell the listeners together too. So Tim Lucas, we've mentioned him before on the show because he did some commentaries on some of the Bava discs. Tim Lucas wrote a book on Bava, which I've been looking for because I figured, obviously, we're going through all his movies. It'd be good to have a book on him to reference for these shows.
Yep.
But I could never find it. And it was like weird prices on Amazon, but I figured that was just like, you know how sometimes the third-party sellers just mysteriously
Yeah, they're
jack
always
the
just
prices
like...
up. But apparently the book originally went for $115. I read some reviews that said they got it on a pre-order deal for $95. And now on Amazon and eBay, it goes for about $1,000.
What year did it come out?
I think early 2000s, actually. I should have checked that. But anyway, it is an encyclopedia, like literally an encyclopedia on Bava and his movies. It's not just a biography or a rundown of his movies. It has ridiculous detail, and it's almost 1,200 pages long of 4-column text. And Amazon specs say the book is 12 pounds in weight.
That's so awesome.
Right? It's
I think I asked you this, and you said no, but I can't really remember. How many were made originally? Like 1,000, 10,000?
I should have looked that up. Yeah, I forgot to check that.
Gotcha.
But so I have some tidbits, and I'll get to that at the end. Because I started reading from the beginning, but then I was like, what am I doing? I should get some, juicy stuff for this episode, which is Blood and Black Lace.
Ooh, yeah.
Or its original Italian title, translated, Six Women for a Murderer.
which oh no, it's such a terrible name.
I love
and
that name.
It kind of spoils the movie.
Well, that's what like I was reading the book, and that's what was kind of like said. It's kind of fun because it promises you how many are going to die, and you just kind of wait in anticipation for the 6 women to die.
That's
Spoilers.
a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Spoilers.
I was okay. So I'll say that I remembered that I watched this movie like just a couple months before we decided to do this. If not like the week before, because that stupid fucking creaking sign in the beginning. You remember how like it falls off? And I was like, I remember this.
I love the opening.
And actually, I love that, but I love the actual opening with like all the cool colors and like the cutesy poses and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was a big thing too. That I meant to look up on YouTube before we recorded, and that's another thing I forgot. It's been too long. A rough start to the season, but the U.S. version completely changed that, and I think I read that it was just mannequins under silly lights, but with like kind of like.
Oh, okay.
It tried to give it a little bit more like pep or action. They thought that like showing all the cast was too slow of an opening or something, but that was perfect. That was amazing.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. I was excited. Then I saw the sign. I'm like, oh, this fucking movie. This is great.
Right, and it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. He's showing every bit player, but like they all get a moment, and they almost all of them wind up as some degree of a red herring. At like different points too, like that this guy's a drug addict, but oh no, he's just a drug addict.
Oh, this guy's penis doesn't work.
Right,
he's a murderer.
Yeah, exactly. A sex maniac, as they call them. I love that phrase, and especially the way they say it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how much about this movie is in there? Is there
Okay,
like 20, 30?
so I started whenever I told you about it last week, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've had what 5? I've had 6 days with this book, and for 5.5 days, when I have had a chance, I've been reading about Blood and Black Lace. So I
Oh
got
wow.
20 of those 4 column pages in. There's like 3 pages that are just pictures, but yeah, so basically 17 pages, which I guess equivalent of 50 pages in just a normal book.
I'm gonna have to remember. I'm gonna have to like next episode. I'm gonna have to like download it and read it too on my Kindle. This sounds like great.
It is such a good read. Although there are points, I read an Amazon review that he definitely needed an editor. For instance, every single cast member and even a little bit of the stuntman who played the murderer, he basically tells you their life story like before and after the movie,
Okay.
excluding people who probably were mentioned in previous chapters. It gets a little exhausting because it's just like, okay, what, like, it goes away from the movie, it goes away from Bava, and just tells you about these people's lives.
Can you kind of like I play it away where you skip a few paragraphs and you know you're
Yeah,
just skipping?
you
Okay.
can skim through, and it becomes like, because there's a lot of irrelevant stuff there about like these actresses and what they were doing in 1999. Like,
Yeah.
like
Oh, that.
right, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't care about that at all. I would like it would be cool to hear about their like what they did beforehand, but yeah, I don't give a fuck what they did 30
Yeah,
years later, really.
one of them he had a lot on. He must have gotten like a direct interview with. It was Mary Arden. I gotta remember who she played, even though I just read 15 pages about her. I just took all the notes with Mary Arden in there. I can't believe it. Yeah, I was reading it so desperately. I read 20 pages. She is Peggy, the one who gets
Yeah, I was
attacked in her apartment and taken
hell yeah.
to
She's
the
the
front.
worst one that
She
dies.
has the worst death. And she also had one of the worst experiences in the movie. If we want to do some trivia right off the bat.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course
Since I have a lot of trivia about Mary Arden. First of all, she is fluent in 3 languages. And when she rolled up and started reading the script, it had been written by like Italians and then translated by them into English. And she was like, "This doesn't make fucking sense." like it made sense, but she's like, people don't talk like that. So she actually uncredited did like some script doctoring just to make it sound correct.
Oh, cool.
She also said she wasn't ever paid for this movie,
I read that a few places that like some of the people just didn't get paid at all.
which apparently is was semi-common practice. Cameron Mitchell had an arrangement where at the start of every shooting week, he got a briefcase full of cash. So he got paid for the week up front because he was a star.
So basically, Mario Bava is like the present day influencer, where he's just like paying people in like
I think it
opportunity.
was just the whole like like Roger Corman. I don't think it was Bava. I think it was just the whole like the studio, the way the
environment,
Italians were run. There was a couple German actors. One of them was the inspector. He said he got paid because he went on loan from his German studio, so the Germans got paid.
Oh, that guy was cool. That was my favorite. That was him and the limp dick guy were my favorite.
He was
I
cool.
think.
It was kind of a rough dub, though. Apparently, like some of these people did their own dubs, but then when it got the U.S. release, they just redubbed it again. Because I did not like this dub.
See, I wouldn't even be able to notice because I'm just busy reading the dialogue, so I never really look at their lips, I guess.
Did you see it in Italian?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it in English.
Oh, what? No, fuck that. Yeah, I'm always about subs.
Where did you... I
So-
watched on Prime.
Yeah, I watched on Prime too.
Did we just choose different Prime, or was there an Italian audio track option?
Oh, I mean, I didn't even think that there would be an English option. I just hit play.
Oh, so there's
That's weird.
There's 2 different ones on there, and I picked the first one that came up, which has
Oh, okay.
I think a yellowish poster, and the one has like a darkish poster, and it just looked.
Yeah, I think I have the darkest one, right?
Oh, okay. But I guess whenever they put the dub back in, they retouched it because there doesn't seem to be anything really missing. Which I did read that like a lot. They didn't really. They only cut a little bit of dialogue and changed the opening credits when it was released.
So what was it like? So was it a shitty dub then? It was.
It was a shitty dub, yeah.
That sucks.
But Bava actually got this released pretty much uncensored in America because he was tired of the censorship that he got. He had a partnership with American International, and he ended that partnership because they kept butchering his movies.
Yeah, that's good. That's good that he did it early when he started rolling into his good films here.
Which is kind of funny though, because I'll just do one little bit of trivia and we can actually talk about the movie. This is running long.
Well, hang on. I guess I have a piece of trivia, which isn't shocking.
Okay.
Like every single other Mario Bava movie ever, this movie bombed. How the fuck did he keep making movies if all his movies bomb?
Right. Yeah, I guess he just did him cheap, but he also he liked to avoid credit, which maybe that's because he was just jobbing all the time, and I don't know. But that was my trivia, was that he thought a lot of his movies were bullshit. He was quoted as saying that.
Really?
Yeah, and remember how this started out where he was uncredited co-director, or really he directed it but didn't get the credit?
Well, yeah, he did 50 things in other movies.
Yeah, and I'm
before his
wondering,
first movie.
I'm going to kind of want to look through this book. I'm worried there's shit we missed just because Wikipedia didn't credit it right, or Letterboxd actually even removed a bunch of his co-directed stuff that he actually directed, I Vampiri is removed. He's removed as director on Letterboxd, which is bullshit because Ricardo Freda, who started it and then handed it over to Bava, even writes in the foreword of this book that movie was directed primarily by Bava. He said basically that Bava was an amazing cinematographer who even got referenced in a Vincente Minnelli movie. They talked about this awesome Italian cinematographer named Mario in this movie about movies, American one.
Nice.
Anyway, he saw that he was a cinematographer, but he never wanted to take credit or get renown. So did they
ever say why?
Yes, the way Freda puts it is that he kind of set Bava up into these different projects where he knew he would end up taking over to push him into being his own director. The reason why, according to Bava, is that when he was 3 or 4 years old, so his father was an artist. He did wax sculptures. And when he was 3 or 4 years old, he went to his father with a drawing he had done, and he assigned it Mario. And he showed it to his dad, and his dad slapped him and said,
"Oh, no.
How dare you? Do you think you are Michelangelo that you can sign a piece of artwork? Only true artists may sign their artwork." And so it makes perfect sense that he did all these things where he avoided the credit. Even now,
fucking everyone has daddy issues forever. What the hell?
Right? I read that. I was like, oh my God, my son was sitting across the room from me. I was like, oh my God, yes, that would fuck you up. Obviously it did. It fucked Bava up a little bit.
Yeah. I still don't ever save money because my dad never let me save money for comic books.
Yeah, I was like, that's the terrifying thing about being the father. Yeah, it's just all these little things. Stuff your mom does can make you weird, but it can't destroy you inside.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I love the I put that it was a jazzy opening, but then as I read, I found out that this was actually a tango that played.
Oh.
And I loved the music in this.
It was good.
It was amazing.
I love the colors. I don't know what to call the colors. I just loved colors.
Yeah, that was my next note. Colors, purple.
That and the entire thing seemed like a play. And you know how much I love play. Some of the scenes were just you could clearly see the characters waiting for their turn to come on stage, and it was I don't know why I just fucking loved it.
I think that's too because everybody did get a turn. So
yes,
everybody felt important. In a play, you don't cast a character unless there's a point to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
they have a thing. Yeah, they have a scene that does something cool.
Yeah.
And then they go back to being the background dancer.
Exactly. So they didn't have these filler people. They had a lot of people, which I think this is the first one that demands to be rewatched. There's ones that I definitely want to rewatch of Bava's, but this is the first one where you'll really get more out of it if you watch it 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah.
One thing I want to watch it again for that I read was that the I forgot, I didn't write down the name of the composer, but supposedly he starts out, except for the murder scenes, he starts out with a lot of instruments in the orchestration, and as people get killed off, he uses less and less instruments.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
except for like obviously crescendoing for kills.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to
That's
rewatch just
interesting.
to listen for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Obviously, I just rewatched this. This is my second viewing. Now, yeah, that's interesting. I wish I knew that. I would have, because yeah, music. I can either like for music, I always either love it or I like it or I dislike it, but I don't ever like understand any meaning from it or anything. So
That's one thing I kind of want to work on. But you have to rewatch. You can't do it in the first time through.
yeah,
You have to really know a movie before you can start listening for those musical cues. At least like ones that are done
yeah.
purposefully, not just this is a movie, it needs music, which is
So I think
90%.
my favorite scene is actually like super right at the maybe my I have like three favorite scenes, and like I think the one where Isabella is walking down like the road and it's
Oh,
like a
that
tunnel of
tunnel.
light.
I
Yeah.
was on the verge of putting that on my fog list because the fog is all behind her as she's going through this
Yes.
tunneled canopy of trees. But then
Yep.
the fog never quite envelops anybody, which is like
No.
my
No.
rule. Otherwise, I'd add tons of movie just because there was fog in the background.
Mm-hmm.
My rule is that the fog has to enter the foreground and then the character in the midfield. But no, that was an
Yeah.
amazing shot, and that her kill was nasty. Like it was just so sudden and abrupt and uncomfortable.
You're gonna have to tell me because I mean, obviously, I already forgot.
Dude, he slams her against the fucking tree and then
That's
strangles.
right.
He smashes
That's
her head
right.
into a tree and then strangles her and drags her off.
For anybody who is new and listening, I forget everything the second I see it. So like,
Yeah.
I knew I loved the scene, but I totally fucking forgot how she
Oh,
died.
it was
So
I was like, oh, we're going right into the kill, which made sense because we
yeah,
start on a
I
crazy
like
windy
that.
storm or thunderstorm. And
And I
was
feel
just
like the killer is like a Rorschach without the Rorschach part. He just kind of looks like him, but his face is just the mask
he's just
or a
a right
scarf or
wing
something.
nut job killing fashion models.
I don't know about that
'Cause
part, but
they're
like he
corrupt.
looks like him. He's like a more fashionable
He did.
Rorschach, I
Rorschach
guess.
must have come from this guy. I know there's like a Dick Tracy character too that's kind of like this.
I was gonna say I feel like there's been a few like that, so I don't know.
Like there's Blank, who doesn't have a face.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
I don't know if he dressed like that though. Played by Madonna in the fucking movie. Yeah, I guess.
Oh, I don't know. I think this is the. Yeah, I actually wrote something about the murder. I said, you know, the murder is brutal when the dead woman's makeup starts running. So that was Isabella too. I loved it.
This inspector, by the way, like he's so flat, but he's super aggressive to all these people in mourning.
Yeah.
He just rolls in and be like, "Y'all fucking killed her." Like he just shows no sympathy, no tenderness. He's cold as iron. It just
Was he
comes in-
supposed to be Was he supposed to be German or
Yes,
anything? Or is it,
yeah,
or is
yeah.
it-
That actor is
Oh,
German.
okay.
He's one of the guys who actually.
No, I'm saying
got
like
paid.
is the character German or?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Huh. Because that would make sense that he'd be so cold like that, but like I couldn't catch if he was supposed to be German or not.
Here's trivia. That guy, whose name I didn't write down, would dub Vincent Price in Germany because his natural
Oh,
voice
wow.
sounds kind of like Vincent Price. So that's why I'm like, damn, I didn't get to hear his voice. I don't know if he sounded anything like Vincent Price in your dub.
Oh, I wouldn't fucking know.
So Isabella gets killed, and then the next thing you
Brutally.
know, they're reading her fucking diary. Oh, like, damn, that is
Well,
cold. Just whip. Oh, look, I found her diary. I'm gonna start reading it.
Yeah, that's true. I guess they were just like I don't know if they were being nosy or if they just I mean they were obviously being nosy, but it seems they wanted to know who done it,
Well, yeah,
right?
they,
Like
well,
they
no,
weren't.
no, because they all perked up because there's shit on all of them in that book.
Oh, that's right. That's
Right?
right.
That's why
I
they're
forgot.
all
You're right.
red herrings because everybody's got shit on them.
Yep.
And Isabella knew it all, and they assumed she wrote it all down.
Okay, so what's it called though? Not to get too far ahead, but I'm going to like. So everyone else is a red herring, but who ends up being the murderer is just never really. They have nothing. Like we're not ever like really told who it could be. Isn't that called something like where you just lie to your audience, kind of?
I don't think Bava lied in this one, but
Okay.
you mean like
Because like you don't really know who the murderer is until he's the murderer. Like maybe a few minutes before, I guess. But everyone else gets
you
it
mean
could be this
you
guy.
didn't
It
feel
could be
was
this guy.
foreshadowed very well.
Yeah. Yeah, or at all,
that's
which I don't mind. I'm just saying.
well,
Like,
that's another reason I kind of want to rewatch it too, because like there's so much going on in the story
I
and
feel
all
like
the
you and I are just
characters.
gonna rewatch this together in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, they just do another episode on the rewatch because like it is really it's actually a really good whodunit. Like there's not like
Yeah, yeah,
but I guess you're right. You can't really try to pick it apart. So people who like to watch mysteries to try to like look for clues and pick it apart as it goes. I guess there's right. There's not that much foreshadowing for it, but it doesn't feel like unnatural or forced.
No, it doesn't seem cheap at all.
Right. It's because like
It
these
seems
are a
fine.
bunch
Yeah.
of shitty people, any one of whom could be a killer, given the
Yeah.
right circumstances.
Are
And-
they shitty people?
Well, I guess they're just broken people who want to hide
Are
their
they?
shame.
They just seem like normal people who, like, I don't know. They seem pretty normal. Like, not even for like fashion people. Like,
I guess for
what,
fashion
like,
people,
one-
yeah, drug addictions and abortions and blackmails, like
Yeah, but I feel like that's a part of. I don't know. I felt all of it was pretty normal life, except until people started dying. Like, people had drugs, people were nervous, people had erectile dysfunction,
yeah.
people were out of money. Like, it just seemed like life.
I guess you're right, yeah. But it just kind of makes it fun too, because they're all so believable. You could believe that this random group of people exists,
Yes,
working
absolutely.
together.
You know what else seemed really fun? Cocaine and paper baggies. Sorry not to let you answer, but I was just like, that looks great. That looks like super classy.
I was like, what is that?
Yeah. And then so like since I already brought up cocaine, I'll bring up the other one. The guy the guy Marco, who's like super anxious all the time. He looks like he's anxious, and then he also looks like the doctor prescribed him only cocaine to treat his anxiety. So he does a little sniff every time he gets anxious, and that just made me nervous. I was like, that's not what you do. Don't do that.
He's a little sweaty too.
Yeah. Oh my God, he was. Yeah. He reminds me of me about 40 minutes into any podcast.
Oh,
I just start twitching and getting sweaty, and it's like, oh no.
It's nice and cool out tonight, so. I wasn't expecting spikes for the second kill. That was.
That was just sweet.
Bava shot it two ways. He shot it also like So in the movie, it basically spikes come out, hit her face, she's done. He shot it where she like grappled with the spikes. The spikes, if you haven't seen it, they're on like a glove and these three spikes on the hand. So yeah, he extended it and had her like grappling and trying to fight with it. But I guess he just opted to just like quick one and done and do it, which I love.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I love that too. That'd be pretty cool though. It's like he lets go and she's just struggling with it on her face. That would be like a little.
No, I like it how it is instead of her trying to keep it away from her. Because like, I don't know, you just come to expect that when the kill happens like fairly quickly. Especially there was already so much.
I thought you meant like he kills her or like he puts it in her head. And then, like, he lets it go, and then, like, she's, like, struggling with it and slowly dying.
No. It's like he has his hand near her face, like 6 inches away, and she's trying to push him away. But it didn't need that anyway. Sense. He was right, because that scene has the perfect amount of buildup. Like, she's, like, running through the antique shop, which was probably one of the best, like, most atmospheric moments.
Oh, okay, so, yeah, this is the Franco scene, right? She's there to see Franco, the guy who gives her drugs.
Yeah,
okay. So I love that scene. I actually just wrote Franco scene. It's just like all the lights, the fucking music was perfect.
Yeah.
By the way, there was fog inside, and it enveloped her as she was running.
That's a weird.
Or at least it enveloped her
like
legs.
Watch it. I don't remember that.
Yeah, and she lets out 3 to 4 just fucking blood curdling screams, which your son was a roller coaster. He thought it was a roller coaster.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, he's like, I went to pee at that point. He's like, "Are you watching roller coasters?"
Oh my God.
And your wife's like, "Yes." I was like, "Oopsie." Oh, okay. Does like Bava have a boner for red phones, or like what the fuck? Or is that just like a normal thing back then? Every phone was red.
No, it was. It was kind of a normal thing.
Okay.
I guess in a press release, he was kind of mocked for it in one of the reviews of this movie. That his new thing is red telephones. It was just like I think it was just like a weird wave in the moment at Italy. Okay. We'll see with the next one. But I thought you were going to say redheads, because that's another thing I got from the book that we can look forward to, is that this starts a little trend of Bava and redheads. So I'm excited for that. And next we get to Peggy. That's our girl Mary Ardent I was talking about.
Who's about to get the fucking shit slapped out of her at least 2 dozen times.
Yes.
Whew.
But she does get to bite the killer's finger.
Oh
Gives
yeah,
it a
that's right.
nice bite. But then, yeah, she gets the shit beat out of her. And one of the scenes that really impressed me is this killer throws her over their shoulder and climbs up the stairs.
Yes.
Oh,
I was gonna mention the stairs. This is like the third staircase in the film, and we're like 40 minutes.
Oh,
in.
I wasn't thinking of the stairs. I was thinking.
I know.
I wrote. That's some fucking strength.
And like, can we say who the killer is at this point, or?
Yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah, the killer is the woman, right? At this point.
No.
So this is
the killer is the.
Oh, that comes later. You're right.
Yes,
that comes
the
later.
killer is the guy.
You're right.
And then later he sends her to get rid of her.
Oh well, no.
But she gets
See,
involved.
I thought she became the killer when he's in jail. So like without his knowledge, she became the killer. Right?
Yeah. She does. She does do one while he's in jail to clean up.
But back to the Peggy slapping scene. Like she goes there, like she goes home, and then Marco shows up, right? Because he's all like in love with her, and then he leaves, and the killer comes because
so brutal.
Yeah, and then he comes because she took his.
She's like, okay, you're a great friend. But like it plays out so much longer. You're just like this fucking guy.
It was very I was like, please stop.
His little impotent heart out.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, it was so.
That was the most brutal part of it. I didn't want to watch it. I was like, please
that was
leave.
like the seventh murder right there because she straight up murdered him.
So I guess we could talk about how Peggy died. She gets taken to a lair. And then I guess the killer's like, "Are you sure you burnt the what is it the notebook from Isabella?" And then he burns her hand and she screams again. Then I think he slaps her again before putting her head down to the
torture.
What was that? That was like a hot I don't even know what that was.
Yeah, like a little furnace lamp.
Yeah, it looked like molten fucking lava. It was fucking burning.
So here's a little fun fact. Mary Arden got tired of doing the makeup and getting it off every single night. And since she had to go back and shoot with the makeup again first thing the next morning, she went home with that makeup on and freaked the fuck out of her mom.
Oh my god. You don't think she telephoned her first?
Right, like, you should have let her know, yeah. And then
I bet she must have done it on purpose.
So then Peggy gets killed and her body gets relocated. Here's another little bit of trivia. Mary Arden had a hell of a time for a movie she says she doesn't get fucking paid on.
I'm really enjoying these interludes here. I'm glad you read it.
So, yeah, I wish I could have had time to read more of it. It's like 20 more fucking pages. I didn't have time, but I'll try to keep up.
No, this is like the perfect amount. Like, this is good.
So, yeah, it would have been way too much. We'd have had like an hour and a half show. So, Peggy is going to be pulled out of the trunk, her dead body, by the girl killer.
Yeah.
In that scene, the other actress was told she had to wait to try to pull her out until she heard the trunk click because the trunk wouldn't stay open until it was latched. Otherwise, it would just fucking drop. And basically, she didn't. And so Mary Arden started to or Arden. I keep putting a T. I don't know what I wrote. I wrote it two different ways. So anyway, it didn't latch, and the thing almost took her fucking eye out.
Oh,
when this trunk lid fell on her.
Dude, trunk lids were fucking heavy back then.
Right, yeah. And then she said Bava was really nice to her and really apologetic and kind about it. Where are we going to?
I'm glad Bava's not a cunt. I'm glad we're not doing like an angry director's movography.
All right, so all the men end up getting locked up, and I wrote down a couple awesome quotes. So with the men, there's Luciano Pagozzi. If you remember, he's the Peter Lorre looking guy. He was he was in The Whip and the Body. You remember the creepy looking, kind of like Igor looking dude.
This is the guy with a bad penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this great line. Inspector, look at his face. He hates women.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. And that's when he's like impotent. He'll kill them all or something like that.
I didn't get that in my version. Damn.
Oh, really? Yeah, no,
he straight
up said, look at that guy. Look at his face. he's killing women. He hates women. He's impotent, so he kills them all. I was like,
Oh,
whoa.
I didn't get all that, man. Now I gotta watch. I'll watch the Italian version next.
Yeah, absolutely.
A fun quote from Luciano Pagozzi when he asked, "What do you remember of Blood and Black Lace?" He said, "I remember many women."
All right, Luciano.
So while all the men are in jail, we see all the women hanging out. And let me know if this was in the Italian version. One of them says, "If only the men would come back. We're all women left alone."
Oh man, I think I would have remembered that. I don't think so. Hang on, was this before or after the alibi scene? Oh, this is after.
Oh, yeah,
I
this
actually
is when
remember.
all the men are in jail.
Yeah, when the guy came in to see his friend, and he's like, "Hey, you got to tell them that I didn't kill anyone.
Oh,
You got to tell them that we were together."
Yeah.
I loved that scene a lot. Like it just felt so Italian. I don't know.
Oh,
what
yeah,
was it
yeah.
about.
And then the guy was just like, okay.
And then he's like, "Well, you're gonna be fucked too if you don't say." And he's like, "I'm not gonna be fucked." And he's like, "You owe her $7 million." And I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
I
yeah.
love just how nasty they all are to each other.
Yeah. But they're still like clearly friends, like which is weird.
Yeah. I guess because they have to
Yeah,
work together. So they say, well,
I guess so,
Must be an
yeah.
Italian thing.
Yeah, probably.
One of the kills is just a pillow smothering, and that chick did not fight at all.
No, she wanted to die.
Just,
She was
yeah,
ready.
she did. She laid down and splayed her arms out and let this pillow come on her face and did nothing with her arms. She's just like, fuck it. Right? Like, you would fight. You have your arms are free. Her arms are completely free.
Yeah.
She could have been fighting, even if it was futile.
She has legs too. You kick a little or something.
That was my least favorite moment in the movie. I hated that part.
He should have done the pillow thing and then stabbed her in the face.
With a 3 spike
That would have been a cool
thing.
Yeah, the 3 spikes thing.
And then there's the one that's supposed to look like a suicide, but like obviously they don't know anything about forensics because if you drown someone in the tub, you can't then slit their wrists, and anyone will believe that it was a suicide.
Oh yeah, this is the one. This is the last kill almost. Well, this would be the 6th woman killed, right? Yeah. When they had the camera like in the tub with her getting drowned, like it was so freaky. She looked like a I don't know, like a mannequin almost, but I don't know,
that was a great shot too. I was just like, I looked away. I was like, oh, stop.
Oh, it was the eyes. Her eyes were like they were clearly
creepy.
fake. Yeah, it was fucking creepy as shit.
And there's a nipple in the American version too. I was like, whoa.
Ooh, really?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see a nipple.
There's like a see-through in there. Yeah, there's a nipple.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That was
nothing exciting, but then you see her fucking dead eyes. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, the dead eyes. It looked like an Incan eye, like you would see from the 1200s or something.
That's everything I got. Unless I got 20 more pages, we could come back to this.
Oh no, that's actually that's good. That's literally all I had. I actually wrote a note that I think my notes didn't sync because the last 20 minutes I don't have anything. But great murder twist.
Well, actually, yeah. I apparently my notes fell away too at the end. I was just like wrapped up in it, and like
yeah.
I'm surprised I have as many notes as I do, and I like so again why I want to rewatch it because I just.
And if, like you said earlier in one of our earlier episodes, if Bava is all about the staircases, this is the first film that highlights staircases. There were several great staircase shots.
This was also like his first where he really got noticed for the colors, and like everybody started imitating what he was doing.
That makes sense. Yeah.
There was actually like a German genre of like crime thrillers that was super popular that Bava kind of took influence from and then like pushed it to the extreme with the colors. And then they basically did the reverse and said, "Oh yeah, that's definitely going to work." And
there is another quote that you remember the old lady maid?
Yes.
So her name is Tao Li in this for some reason in the film.
Yeah.
But like somebody I read an interview with her for some fucking reason, and she was like, "Oh, I really didn't like this movie because once you get older, you just don't like all this murder and mayhem."
Oh yes, I did read that. Yeah. It was just
I thought that was really good. And she was in there for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So like we said, welcome to the new feed, Director's Gallery. Mario Minute. We're going to be with Mario Bava for quite a few more films. Thanks for staying on or joining us if you're finding us.
How
on
many
your
more
stream.
films is there going to be? Like 40?
Like 15
40
to 20.
more?
15 to 20.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah,
Oh, that's not bad.
we're in like 1964 because he didn't keep going. He stopped and then he died.
Oh my God, you're right. There's only like 12 more films.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna refer to the book. Maybe there's some that are missing.
Okay, I guess there's 19 more entries. One is uncredited. One is as John Old.
Oh yeah, he was John M. Old for the American release of
For the Whip in the Body.
Whip in the Body,
He was
yeah.
John Old for our next film, The Road to Fort Alamo. And then he was John Hold for Knives of the Avenger.
What the fuck, man? Let me see what's listed in this Tim Lucas book before we sign off.
And then he was Mickey Leone for The House of
It takes a
Exorcism.
minute for my computer to load this PDF.
Ooh, this is going to be an exciting movie. Oh, she's beautiful.
Let's see what he's got because it's chapter by movies once he gets into them.
Nice.
See, there's ones we haven't seen. But I don't know if he actually directed. I'll have to read this because it shows like Esther and the King, but I thought we ruled that out as not really directed by him. And
well, we're only a few movies away from having all three of us here for Danger Diabolic.
Is it going in order or not?
Well, this is a bad podcasting, so I guess we can...
Yeah. No, it doesn't quite go in order. It like drops back. It goes by like some of the genres he did.
Oh, okay.
And then gets into... Okay, whatever. Yeah, this is bad podcasting,
So next time we'll be here for a good old-fashioned Western.
Western from Mario Bava.
The Road to Fort Alamo.
So if you want to, like, review, subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to, and go ahead and reach out to us. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're at 16 Ounce Cinema. Go ahead and listen to some of our other shows, too. The main show, we mostly bullshit and then sometimes talk about movies. Mike does one with our other 16 Ounce Cinema host that's Woke as Fuck, or Woke AF.
Hell yeah.
And I do one with our other host, Angus, of movies that aren't quite cult.
And I do one from a subcult.
Yeah. And Mike's got a new one coming out with a guy from England named Bjork, who's not in our main show, but he'll be in this one talking about Takashi Miike.
Unless he dies from COVID, because he's been sick for 2 weeks.
Oh,
we'll see.
Oh, lovely. But you got a first episode out anyway.
Yeah, well, we recorded two, so we're good, yeah.
All right, and that's it.
We'll about do it.
Yeah, find us on Facebook. Hit us up. Bye.